Cattails Keeper Talks. My name is TJ and today is February 2nd, so today is Groundhog's Day. I will be talking to you a little bit about the origin of Groundhog's Day, the holiday itself, and then the animal that can maybe predict some weather for us. So Groundhog's Day started in the United States in 1887 in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, but its origin stories go back a little bit further than that. It actually started in Germany by a Christian organization where they had a holiday called Candlemas. And Candlemas is the exact halfway point between the winter equinox and the spring equinox. And traditionally for them, if it was a really sunny day, that meant that you were going to have more winter. So that's where we get the kind of funky story of if it's sunny out and the groundhog sees his shadow, we actually get a little bit more, having 6 weeks of winter versus the shorter, earlier spring in just 2 weeks. So a little bit different, but that's where that comes from. Groundhogs are a part of the rodent family. They are actually in the squirrel family, and they have a few different names. There are woodchucks, they are called land beavers, they're called whistle pigs. In this area we call them marmots, but they are all part of the scientific family of Marmota monex. I had to check my notes. Marmota monex. So they are average about 6 to 12 pounds, small little round guys. They definitely have a very coarse fur, and that is because they are big diggers. So when they dig, that fur actually kind of helps prevent the dirt from getting trapped in them. They have short little stubby legs that help with the digging, with sharp claws that also help digging, and then they can actually climb trees with those claws as well. So they have an average lifespan of 3 to 6 years. For diet, these guys are omnivorous. They eat mainly plants, so they're mainly herbivores, but they will eat some insects as well too. And their favorite meal is a bit of a nuisance to a lot of gardeners and farmers. They like a lot of crops that are grown in the Northwest and all throughout North America. So they can be found on the East Coast, they can be found in Central America, throughout Canada, even into Alaska. They are found in open fields near forested regions, but they also like some sort of shelter near them. So that can be trees, but another nuisance characteristic of them is that can be houses. They do have 2 incisor teeth, like a lot of rodents, so that are ever growing. So they're always chewing, and that can be a bit detrimental to foundations of houses, but they like to gnaw and chew to keep those teeth trimmed for them. Groundhogs also live in what they call burrows. So they're actually pretty complex little burrows for them. They can be up to 66 feet underground, so they can be very, very large. They have multiple chambers, and it's kind of like a house as far as they're gonna have different rooms in those chambers too. They'll have a room where they sleep in and hibernate and nest. They'll have a room where they store a lot of food that they're hoarding, and then they'll also actually have a separate room for a bathroom too. So it's kind of like a little house in its own structures, and they can be very large underground there. So groundhogs do hibernate, and they're one of the few animals that actually do a true hibernation, as far as they will actually go into a dormant sleep stage from October till early spring. So in the spring and summer and early fall, they are storing up as much fat as possible, and then when they go into hibernation, their body temperature lowers from 90 degrees down to 40, and their heart rate goes down from about 80 beats per minute down to 5 beats per minute. So they are in a sleep stage, living off of that fat storage for those winter months. And that is where groundhogs, in a sense, can actually predict the weather a little bit for us, because when they come out of hibernation, that means spring is just around the corner. So in a way, our little friends do actually predict weather for us. Thank you guys for joining us for this version of our Keeper Talks. Happy Groundhog's Day. If you have any questions or any fun facts you want to comment about groundhogs, just post them down below in our comment section. Thank you.